they are wrecking. Just like that. Oh, a humongous impact. Just like that, we have ourselves some drama on hand.
Things are heating up.
Back forward for the lead.
I think Roger got it. I think Roger got the win.
Is in the air. He is Dogecoin to the moon.
And that's the kind of racing you get in ThunderClap. We are live at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It is trucks for the ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Team JCR 200. I'm Bo Condon alongside Justin Clapper and a slew of in-race reporters, and we are getting geared up for an exciting night under the lights. It's going to be one hot Wednesday night here at Charlotte. One of the things that we should talk about opening up, it was supposed to be Justin doing this broadcast tonight, but we called a last-minute audible because I'm going to tell you all right now, I was trash on this racetrack because this is hard to be fast around this thing. I mean, you want to be throttles up the whole way around, and, well, your boy couldn't perform. I wasn't even a squirrel. I was a groundhog out there. I was like the little groundhog in Caddyshack. That's how bad it was. So I've pulled myself out, and I have thrown Justin back out on track to get him some hot laps. And Justin, you put down a little lap earlier that blew my best lap away. How are you able to get speed like that personally, and so that everybody else here can know?
Well, Bo, talk about an audible, absolutely. But we want to welcome you viewers to the virtual America's home for racing, Charlotte Motor Speedway. And boy, I had to rush and find the gloves, find the shoes, and get ready to rock and roll here. You know, sometimes you get that call in, and you got to get ready to hop behind the driver's seat. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now, sitting at a 30.547. We got some quick times out here, but it's all about tire management tonight. A lot of guys, I can tell you how to be fast around this racetrack, but tonight, with the limited sets of tires that I've given these drivers, that's not going to be the way you win tonight's race. You're going to want to manage those tires as you only have 3 sets behind the wall for 134 laps around this mile-and-a-half, very, very fast racetrack.
Well, it is a very fast track, and we're seeing that with these speeds. I'll pop them up right now here for everybody to look at. I mean, we have, well, you're not seeing the actual seconds there, but good Lord, these guys are putting, you have a whole slew of guys in the top 5s that are in 0.3s, and my best was in the 0.7s. I mean, good Lord, there are going to be fast guys out here tonight, but like you said, you got 3 sets, and you got to make them work. So a fast lap is a fast lap, but how are you going to make that last over that 30-lap stretch?
Well, if we could get a full ticker up here on the screen, we could go ahead and take a look at how these lap times are very close throughout the top 15 and even the top 20. Really between 2/10 all across this top 20 here. Very, very tight quarters and lap times.
We see Ryan Lutz right here now. He's back. He's already put down a 30.31. My God. That's just crazy.
Ticker.
Which ticker you want? I like this. Ticker looks pretty. Oh, there's your little he likes seeing this whole thing over here on the side, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's obnoxious, but hey, what do I know? All right, anyway, back to our originally scheduled program. Actually, Clap, you had some things that you wanted to go over in this pre-race show. If you want to kind of get after that, I know you had taken some serious notes that maybe these viewers want to know about.
Yeah, so unfortunately with this little audible that we have here, I don't have the graphic in front of me to show you, but I do want to discuss our current playoff situation. Drivers are well aware that only 2 races remain for each series. This is the first of 3 more intermediate tracks, and the last intermediates that we will go to in the regular season before we go to 3 more short tracks to finish out the year. So there's only 6 races remaining in the regular season. And Roger Diebold has 3 of the 4 point standings that we have in a ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational. But our playoff standings right now, if they were to start today, he would be tied at 23 bonus points with Tyler Truex, and Ryan Truex closely behind at a 20 bonus points with Kyle Sisko, James Stanger, Tommy Allen Jr., Anthony Burleson, Bobby Grant, Ryan Zunk, and Robert Walton, the current drivers in the playoff standings as they stand right now. But that's subject to change. A lot can happen. We do know that Roger Diebold will be missing next week's race at Texas. Could this be the opportunity for Tyler Truex, a very, very strong driver at these mile and a halves, to come out here and steal the win, maybe even sweep the stages the next 2 races and put himself in the hunt to possibly take a point lead? Now, in the Xfinity standings, our last Xfinity race, Tyler Truex has been running a little bit better than Roger Diebold. He has a 43-point advantage. That's almost a full race. That if Roger Diebold has a phenomenal race at, I believe it is Richmond, our next Xfinity race, there is a chance that he can have a comeback. But honestly, missing that race next week at Texas, I think solidifies Tyler Truex's chances at winning the Xfinity Championship in a ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational, locking him into a playoff position. Now, Roger Diebold does have a 19-point advantage over Ryan Zunk in the trucks. So keep an eye on Ryan Zunk tonight to keep digging and trying to click off some points on Roger Diebold. But Roger's going to want to pull away, because I know with 5 points being the bonus award for each one of these individual series championships counts as a win, and a 15 a bonus point overall for the overall point standings, that's what stands him at a 23-point bonus as of right now. But like I said, subject to change, and that could easily change here tonight, as you saw the 6 spinning there through the grass. Something like that happens to one of these playoff contending drivers, and it could be catastrophic to not only their season, as we're getting down to crunch time in our first invitational series of the ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational.
It is within that minute left, and thank you for that breakdown of the points. Sounds like a lot of work, if you ask me. A lot of thought processes there, and I mean, if I was a driver, which I just tried to be, you just got to go out there and try and do the best that you can, because you are going to have guys that are going to miss races. There's probably a lot of guys out here. You know, Roger was really not going to miss any races this year, if you think about it. And so a lot of guys are probably thinking, well, there's no catching him. Well, here is your opportunity. And we're not even talking about the amount of guys that we have that are brand new, that are still we're really close to the playoffs, but they're taking valuable points away from our full season runners. And although they may not have an opportunity to get into the postseason, they have a big opportunity to play spoiler this season. Well, and as practice session comes to a close, we'll get ready for that qualifying session. And as we go to our qualifying session here, again, I remind everyone that we are not able to show you the qualifying laps. iRacing keeps that a secret from us. So we'll take a moment to thank our sponsor, Team JCR, for everything that they're doing. They are a great partner for the ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational. They are a talented group of drivers focused on competitive co-opetition and building a positive racing atmosphere. They share data and share speed to be one of the top-tier teams in the iRacing community. To join them, reach out directly on ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational's Facebook page, or hit up our guy Jordan Jurassic. He is one of those guys that is on Team JCR, representing on a weekly basis here in the ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational. We're going to take a quick commercial break and be right back for the Team JCR 200 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Stay with us.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Now's the time to get your landscape lighting system tuned up for the summer months. You're going to have people over your house. You want to have your home, your back deck, back patio, around your swimming pool, all your landscape lighting tuned up and ready. Give us a call here at the office, 410-721-2342. We'll be glad to get that scheduled for you.
It's 8 a.m. Your car's engine is already hot. Now it's time to look the part. At Paint Corrections by Associated, we know that it's not enough to just offer the best products and services. You need the best customer experience in auto detailing. We test all of our products on our cars long before we trust them with your ride. We start with our best foot forward, a state-of-the-art water treatment system yielding the best results for our detailing products. A precise, meticulous, and caring service with unmatched results. The job's done right. Your car's not like new. It's so much more. Paint Corrections by Associated. Call today to schedule your appointment. Cars aren't just our passion. They're our career.
Hey, Dad.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, for the Team JCR 200 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We are getting ready to send it down for opening ceremonies as the drivers are qualifying. Before we send it down to the in-track guys, let's take a look at our qualifying standing so far. Ryan Zunk sitting at the top of the board right now. Would love to see him get his first pole of the year. Ryan Zunk has not gotten a pole yet. He is one of our original Hellraisers from our Xbox League that used to exist and has grown into this big thing, so I'm rooting for him to get that pole. But I'm noticing some of the guys that were putting down those blistering laps have not done their lap yet. They're waiting late into the session, maybe grabbing themselves a cold one, and then they'll go ahead and put their laps down. But you can see a lot of guys have not put a fast lap down yet, and that's going to maybe shake these things up here at the front. But before we jump into that, we're going to take a quick second to thank and, well, to view what you will see in this ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational if you decide to become one of our premier sponsors. So, as I break it down for you, if you become a title sponsor, you're going to get all of your sponsor money goes to 70 to 90% of the race winnings, which is a big thing here. We don't want to just pocket any of this. You're also going to support our weekly race control. This provides us the ability to fairly confirm positions, points, penalties, and enforce all of our rules. You're also going to support your local community if you become a title sponsor in the ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational, because we're going to talk directly about the people in your organization and business that matter and make sure that the right stories are covered. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what the hell do I get for being a title sponsor? Well, a lot. You're going to get thousands of eyes because we have hundreds of weekly viewers. Your organization will be placed right in front of these potential customers that you can transfer into dollar signs. You're going to get constant scripted promotions. I would have my script in front of me to actually read this off, but I don't because of the Audible. But we will promote your organization just like we're doing with Team JCR tonight. and professional advertising content. All of our commercial breaks are from our premier sponsors, and you will get an ad just like that placed into our commercial blocks for the rest of the season if you decide to become one of our premier title sponsors. So those are just some of the benefits that you can get. I'm getting word now that we are ready to send it down trackside for opening ceremonies. Please welcome Great Highland Bagpipes as they perform our national anthem. One of my favorite commands that we have all year long. Now, with only 56 seconds left in our qualifying session, my final thoughts are, I don't know how these guys are going to make these tires last. It is a tough track to get around. You can put down quick speeds early on, but how do you transition those quick laps in the beginning into a full run? They're going to have to sacrifice their ability to get those quick speeds and get up front early and then manage those tires later on, and they only have those 3 sets. So you're going to see tire wear take place and probably see a lot of different front runners as this race goes on. Now we're going to send it down to Team JCR for the command.
I'm Maxwell Castro, driver of the #1 Gear Wrench Chip Ganassi Gaming Chevrolet. And are y'all ready to turn left and go fast for the JCR 200 at Charlotte? Drivers, start your engines!
And we thank Team JCR for that command. They're going to start gritting it up, and we are about ready to go racing here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Team JCR 200. And as we do that, we will go ahead and take a look at your starting lineup for tonight. Starting on the pole, you've got Daniel Silvestri in his first race in the ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational with Ryan Lutz, one of our winners or one of our stars from last week that got himself in a little bit of trouble. We'll see if he can rebound this week. In row 2, you've got Ryan Johnson, one of my personal favorites out there on the track, next to Ryan Zunk, another one of my personal favorite Ryans. I just love all the Ryans. And in row 3, Tyler Truex and Cole Gadgedoris, 2 guys that are very fast every week and need to have themselves a rebounding kind of day here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Next thing, you got Nathan Maurer and Dakota Camper. In row 5, Bobby Grant with a great qualifying position next to Thomas Kohick, one of our fastest cars in qualifying. Or practice, I should say. And then you got Tony Burleson in that Kubia's tackle machine, starting 11th, with Doug Neal in the 77 in his first ThunderClap event. Row 7, you'll see Patrick Langley and Chase Leahy, our ThunderCam and Kubia's Cam driver. Then you got Tommy Allen Jr. in the 88 and our points leader, Roger Diebold, starting deep in the field again this week. Can he manage those tires and find a way to get up front? Starting back in the field, you got Matt Garrett in the 32 and Chris Terry returning in the 86. I look to see him use them muscles and get himself up there to the front. In row 10, Robert Walton and Michael Grant, two guys also happy to be out of the short tracks and ready to use these 1.5 miles for speed. And then you've got Justin Clapper, our lead commissioner, starting next to David Hall deep in the field. Brandon Cash, one of our favorite and fan favorite in-race reporters, starting next to Spencer Taylor, our two-time winner and last week's winner. He's shown dominance on the short tracks. How can he also show dominance here at these 1.5 miles? Not a great qualifying spot. And then bringing up the rear, Josh Koner in that number 9. Trust me, bro, I'd have been back there too. It's all good. That will be your starting lineup for the Team JCR 200. We'll go ahead and look at our Kubia's Cam presented by Kubia's Tackle. There's Chase Leahy getting ready to line them up. There's your pole sitter, the 97 of Daniel Silvestri. Must be pretty nice to sit on the pole for the very start of your first race. Sorry about that audio that was feeding through there, everybody. So I was saying, this is your Kubia's Cam with Chase Leahy.
Green, green, green.
And the green flag is out. We are underway in the Team JCR 200. Already you can see Daniel Silvestri using his speed that he had in qualifying, throwing serious blocks on Ryan Lutz. Ryan Lutz wants to take the lead early as they barrel into 3 and 4. Across the line, Daniel Silvestri will lead the first lap. He is getting hounded by Ryan Lutz, though. There's your difference right there. That's how close it is.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And we have our first caution here on lap number 2. Take a look back and see exactly how that took place. I think there may have been an incident with Matt Garrett in that 32 Shark Week Ford. See how he made contact. There's a big gaggle of cars right here, so anything could happen. We'll look overhead. See, it looks like the 89 of Cole Gadjadoris was slow, and that bottled everybody up here. They were able to get through clean. Oh, there you go. And there is the incident with Matt Garrett. can see just how loose these trucks are early on. And on exit, right here, he just gets so loose. I know the feels, bro. And that great white shark, his shark fin soup. But you can see he's already gotten it taken care of. Looks like he may have had to use his fast repair there. Way early to have to use your fast repair. We'll go ahead and look at the pits and confirm. Yeah, as a matter of fact, it looks like Clap may have had to get some damage fixed on that as well. Go back and check on our leaders as they blip up. It'll be a little easier to cover the action as we go through with these cautions because it's not a short track, so the pace laps are a little bit longer, which I'm a fan of. Gives us time to figure everything out. You see the lights are still on the pace car, and that might just give us a perfect amount of time to check in with one of our in-race reporters. Hey, Brandon, it's Bo up in the booth. I know it's early, pal, but what does it feel like out there? It looks scary.
Yeah, starting off this early session, we just gotta calm it down a little bit. So yeah, it's definitely pretty intimidating, man. Not gonna lie. Sitting back here in P18, got a good view of the field in front of me, and could try to avoid all the wreck here, but yeah.
Well, you be sure to throw something at me if the action breaks out while you're sitting back there. I know you get to see them all, and unfortunately, hopefully that keeps you out of the big one that could be looming at a track like this.
Yeah, right? I mean, I see it every week, man. I'm telling you. I can see it coming. I see these guys. They've got big egos. Not a lot of talent.
Hey, well, you keep that all jacked up on Mountain Dew truck together and throw me up a Mountain Dew Zero when you get a chance, okay?
Yes, sir. Will do.
See ya. Hey, Ryan Johnson, it's Bo up in the booth. You got me, sir.
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Well, I said in the pre-race show you're one of my favorites. I've loved what you've been able to put together these last couple weeks. It's early, I know, but what did you feel on those first 2 laps of green?
I felt pretty good. The setup seems a little bit, on the first lap, it gets a little loose if you're not careful. And other than that, it tightens up pretty quick. So just going to try to save our tires a little bit. And I know the front two looked like they were going at it pretty good. So I'm just going to try to stay out of trouble tonight.
Well, you go ahead and be the cream of their Oreos, son. Get after it. We're about to go green.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, so that's Ryan Camper. We'll actually ride along with him on this restart. Looks like we're not going green this lap, even though... Oh, I'm sorry. They added a lap. My apologies. They don't tell me anything. Now you can see the lights are off on the pace car. Hey, you know what? That gives me an opportunity for a sponsor plug for Team JCR. We really do thank them for jumping on and sponsoring these next 2 events. They are one of our premier sponsors in the league. Team JCR is a talented group of drivers focused on competitive co-opetition and building a positive racing atmosphere. They share data and share speed to be one of the top-tier teams in the iRacing community. To join them, reach out to Rickley on the ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational Facebook page. As we get ready to go green here, we will go ahead and ride along with Ryan Johnson in that 8 Oreo machine. Go ahead and jump in the gyro cam, and you can see just how much banking there is here at this track. It is an intense ride. Pace truck will pull off, and Daniel Silvestri will take them to green.
Green flag, green flag.
There's a shot of your entire field. You can see our leader, Daniel Silvestri, has already cleared the 36 of Ryan Lutz. Hey, tell you what, somebody's going to have to put some sponsorship on that 36 because he's got some speed. Thought for a moment there that Ryan Lutz might make a move on the 97. Well, and there he goes. He's making a move right now. He's right on the tail of the 97. He's going to have the preferred position potentially as they enter turns 1 and 2. But you can carry a lot of speed on the outside here still. A lot of tires getting used up when you're side by side like this. This thing's rides like Atlanta and Dover had a baby, and neither of them are sure who the father is. That's kind of how Charlotte runs on these trucks. It's a terrifying roller coaster ride all the way around the track. And as I stated earlier in the race, 3 sets of tires. These leaders running side by side like this, they're going to use up stuff that they might want to save for later. Checking our top 5, Ryan Lutz takes the lead, clears Daniel Silvestri, with Ryan Johnson in fast pursuit trying to look at that way. The Ryan Lutz breaks the draft on the 97. A little bit of contact between the 8 of Ryan Johnson and Daniel Silvestri, and Ryan Zunk holding strong right there in the 4th position with Tyler Truex right behind him. That is your top 5, and they are all together hanging out. You see a good battle brewing between Michael Grant and the 87 of Patrick Langley. They are side by side. Right now it looks like Patrick Langley will have the advantage, but look at the speed that Bobby Grant gets off of the turn. Behind them, Thomas Kohick. In that 4, he showed a lot of speed early in our practice session. And now he'll be alongside of Bobby Grant with a lot of pursuit in behind him. There's your whole field as they come through, and this is a key battle right here because you have a guy that has not ran a full season versus one of our guys that is trying to stay in playoff contention, because if Bobby Grant can go ahead and get himself a win, he will change the whole game of this league and who's going on in the playoffs. We'll check in on our Thundercam presented by TLC Incorporated. Chase Leahy just kind of running his race. Something that he said that he needed to get better at, just doing what he does best, riding around and trying to avoid the trouble. The poor guy has been involved in so many incidents that are not of his own at all season long. I look for him right now to use this 1.5 mile mayhem to just get yourself some good points. He had some good point stays earlier in the before we went to short tracks. It's time for him to get back on that stride and really just not hit anybody. And it'll never be his fault anyway. You can actually see did he just clean his visor? I think he just cleaned his visor. You can see his setup. I mean, top notch. He's got his button boxes over there, everything right there in front of him. No wonder the guy is fast. We'll rejoin our race feed and check on the 79. That's our Kubia's tackle machine. Kubia's Tackle, one of our other great sponsors. Brett Kubia always checking in and always slinging that great tackle out there and catching the biggest mouth bass you've ever seen. And we appreciate Tony Burleson rocking those Kubia's Tackles colors this week here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Behind him, you've got Jake Waltman. Now, Jake Waltman's already got himself a win, and he's got himself some serious drama that he's had to go through already these last couple weeks in that 6-car/truck. Not doing so hot right now. He has gone up 10 positions. I don't think it's a lack of speed. I think he's aiming for that long run. We'll check on our leaders real quick. Ryan Lutz. It's him and everybody else. He has about a 1 second lead over Ryan Johnson, who has cleared Daniel Silvestri. Ryan Johnson on the move early. I like to see it. He's continually one of my favorite guys to go to because the man stays ready for an in-race reporter interview. Well, as we reach the halfway point in stage number 1, I will go ahead and send it to our sponsors early so I can get our sponsor blocks out of the way early in this race, a lot like how the big guys like to do it. We'll be right back for more action from Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Team JCR 200.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC Custom Lawn Sprinklers. I want to wish everybody a safe race during the ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational. We provide custom automatic underground lawn sprinkler solutions to folks in Maryland, Northern Virginia, and the DC areas. Give us a call here at the office, 410-721-2342.
RL Productions Commercial Advertising. Promoting your success story. Affordable cross-platform strategies tailored to your ideal audience. Serving Maryland business with global brand elevation. For more, visit rlproductioncrew.com.
Tiki Lee's Dock Bar is Maryland's newest island oasis. Put your boat in the slip, toes in the sand, and a drink in your hand. Featuring heat-crushing crushes, the frostiest frozen concoctions, and brews both local and domestic. The kitchen serving up savory seafood and the best pub grub in town, including our gigantic Chesapeake crab pretzel. Tiki Lee's is fun for the whole family and for friends. Only minutes from Hart Miller Island and over 60 boat slips, too. Tiki Lee's Dock Bar in Sparrows Point off of Exit 42. Have a staycation that feels like a vacation.
We are back live for the Team JCR 200 at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and we're joining right in on some action between the 6 and the 38 of Roger Diebold and Jake Waltman. They are side by side, and this is a gaggle full of cars. This is just a lot of fun right here to watch. Our leaders have remained the same. Daniel Silvestri and Ryan Johnson battled it out there for a little while. Daniel Silvestri was able to clear Ryan Johnson, but right now, this is the battle that we're watching. I got some news from Steve, who is our out-of-race reporter this week. He told me that the 20 of Kyle Newkirk unfortunately hit the wall early and did have to pit. He is actually exiting pit road right now in that Phillies machine and pulling himself out onto the track after hitting the wall early on. Back in our big gaggle of cars, we'll go ahead and take a look at our ThunderCam presented by Kubia's Tackle, and you'll get a in-car view of just how, their ThunderCam presented by TLC Incorporated, you will get a in-car view of how crazy this gaggle of cars is through the eye of Chase Leahy. Looks like Jake Waltman now has made... Oh, and they are wrecking up front.
Yellow.
That looks like the 87 of Patrick Langley has gotten into it. And Chase Leahy just made out, and you see a humongous impact for the 69 of Tyler Truex. Or no, that was the 88, I'm sorry, of Tommy Allen Jr. They're running the same scheme tonight. Major impacts. We'll go back and see how all that started. We know it was Patrick Langley. He's trying to make his way to pit road now. But that thing is cooked. He's going to need to use his fast repair. And I think we'll have to check the britches on Chase Leahy because he just made it through this on the high line. We'll go back and look. Patrick Langley racing. I believe that's the 77. Oh, just clips. I'm sorry, that's the 971. Oh, and Ryan Zunk unfortunately gets involved in it. And then you see they just cake in here. And the 88 does a... I mean, unfortunately, this is ThunderClap, not the Olympics. So he won't get any score points for that flip, but he will get style points from me. We'll take a look at what he saw. Trying to break it down, and then... Oof. We'll take a look now through Chase Leahy's eyes and what he saw as they were wrecking in front of him. Oof, just clips the 88 and woo! Threads the needle right through the group of cars. And he's clear. We'll jump back in live. See if any pit stops took place for any of our leaders. Doesn't look like it. Looks like for the most part, actually, Ryan Lutz did go ahead and go into the pits. We'll check in on that. He came in. Daniel Silvestri decided not to, and Ryan Johnson followed him. Kind of a split up front as to who came in. Roger did his classic fake that he usually does. But taking a set with 10 to go on the stage, looks like Ryan Lutz once again is playing the win game, no stage points game. So, similar strategy that he played last week. Good for him. It looks like, did he fake it? What did he do? Did he not mean to come in? That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Well, let's throw it up on the sidewalk and take a look. Looks like he comes down pit road. Comes up to pit lane. And then and then just doesn't. All right. Was he serving a drive-thru? It looked like he wanted to pit. I'm not sure. Maybe he was serving a drive-thru. I'll have to check in on that. But in the meantime, after some corny business, check in on the 97, who is your leader. And we'll go ahead and jump in with our admins here and figure out if there's any fun news to that Ryan Lutz move. All right, I'm here in the admins chat right now, and boys, Ryan Lutz just pulled down on the pit road, and I mean, I like how Roger does his fakie move, but Ryan Lutz did it when he was already down on pit road. Was there any penalties to be served for the 36 that we didn't see, or did he just all of a sudden decide not to use a set?
I'm not too sure exactly what happened there. I'm not sure if he maybe was speeding and had to come down or what the issue was. I did notice him pull down pit road ahead of me. But no penalties there. We had a couple iRacing penalties there of just, having to catch the pace truck and drivers with damage, and you pass them, and it gives you that lovely black flag of passing. under yellow, but we go ahead and get that cleared up. So the lineup should be good as we have 1 to go. We'll let these drivers know that they got to choose here, exit at 2, get ready to go green.
All right, you go ahead and tell them what's up, and we'll follow that 63 through the restart.
Now, Bo, it can be a strategy move that if you pull down pit road, as long as you pull down pit road when it's open for you, you are allowed to pit coming to the 1 to green. Now, if you don't take your chance to pit when it tells you to pit, then you forfeit the whole rest of the caution for coming down pit road without having to serve a penalty.
Well, very good, Roger. Giving us the real knowledge. That may have been what the 36 was going for right there. We know that he's a smart guy, and we know that he is racing for wins here, not points. So I wouldn't be shocked if that's not what he was doing.
Yeah, for sure. He's probably topping off there. I know I came down pit road early on, and so I could do a little volume adjustment on my TV. But conveniently enough, it dropped me down to only a 2-stop race is necessary for me to finish this thing out. So probably going to need more than that on tires, but could have been a fuel mileage strategy there by the driver at number 36.
Will you all go ahead and get after it? We're going to actually follow along with Roger Diebold and his gyro cam as we get the green. Go up there and get to the front, boys.
Green, 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 green.
Green flag is out, and Roger Diebold did not get a good restart. Going to lose at least 2 positions here as he's got Chase Leahy alongside. Big move from the 38. He almost looked like he wanted to cut in front of the 34, thought better of it. As we check on our leaders, the 97 using them older tires. I didn't really see a lot of guys use tires there. I saw a lot of fuel pit stops like Clap was talking about. Yes, that SBR 97 machine is looking stout early in this race and late in this first stage. You can see a big gaggle of cars there in the back. They are 3 wide and 3 and 4. Somehow they figure it all out before they get to the start-finish line. That was dicey. Roger Diebold still trying to work his way through, and the 43 has found himself in the middle again as Jake Waltman comes out of nowhere and jumps into the 2nd place of this race. Oh, he's got the 8 right on his bumper. Good, clean racing by this group, and there's the distance now from your leader. Oh, and the 8 of Ryan Johnson tags the wall just a little bit. That sends the 43 of Dakota Camper up the wall. And the 38 of Roger Diebold just has to take a look at this, moving himself up through the field very nicely since the beginning of this restart. Only 4 laps left in this stage 1. Now, most of these guys right here in your picture are not inherently racing for stage points, but we know that the 38 is because he is not going to be able to run next week's race. We're going to do a special Tuesday Night Thunder edition of the ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational, and Roger will unfortunately miss that event, so he needs to maximize points right now in order to not lose his points lead when we return in 2 weeks at Indianapolis Motor Speedway on Wednesday nights. He moves himself under Ryan Johnson and is now looking a little bit better if he can clear these guys. I mean, if he could get himself to second, I think he is doing exactly what he needs to do as far as points are concerned. You can see the damage that was done on that Oreo Ritz machine of Ryan Johnson when he tagged the wall. Looks like he almost wants to do it again. He is right up on that edge. And we have a battle for the lead. They are side by side. And Jake Waltman tries to clear the 97. Leading that lap, it will be Jake Waltman by the skinny chin of his Ford. They are still side by side. And this is the last lap in stage number 1. Who can take the first stage? Good Lord, side by side running a perfect stream. Jake Waltman will clear the 97 and win stage number 1 and continue his stage dominance. And Dakota Camper surprises to get a 3rd spot in that stage. There is your top 10 for stage number 1. A lot of guys getting valuable stage points here. Roger Diebold was able to get up to 6, not what he was looking for overall. Chase Leahy getting back to what we talked about earlier, getting some of those serious stage points that he needs. And Spencer Taylor, our winner of last week, somehow found himself into that stage area. And David Hall, one of our newcomers, sitting up there in the 10th position. With that, we're going to take a quick commercial break and be right back to the action in the ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational. This is the Team JCR 200.
I'ma keep it going to the
All right, you're on your own. My laptop's about to die, so I'll watch you guys on the broadcast.
And your mic was hot. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't mute all the mics like I'm supposed to, but we will rejoin now as we enter pit lane for pit stops. 6 of Jake Waltman barrels down, and the 97 does too. We'll see who wins the race off of pit road. See their invisible crewmen get to work. And they start barreling out. Looks like the 87 of Patrick Langley will win the race off of pit road, followed by the 43 of Dakota Camper. You can see the strategies at play as the 97 just beats Jake Waltman on the same strategy, and they barrel out of pit lane. But it was the 87 of Patrick Langley that won the race off of pit road. He was one of our ThunderCam drivers a few weeks back. He did the dang thing. But look at Tyler Truex. He decided not to come down pit road. An interesting strategy. He's going to be on old tires. I can't wait to see how that's going to work out with all of these guys. He is alone on an island with all these guys that have 4 freshies or 2 freshies. Some even got fuel. There was a lot of differing strategies there on that pit lane. Love to see what some of our drivers were decided to go with. So you see, oh, Dakota Camper coming down pit road, most likely a speeding penalty that he now has to serve. We do have speeds that you have to follow. You can see right there he is playing it extra safe. The speed limit is 45. He's doing 42 now because he does not want to get a second penalty and compound his problems. He'll enter for that stop and go. He'll serve his penalty and get on with his business. Check back up front. The 87 of Patrick Langley. Looks like he also right now is serving an EOL. So there is some interesting games afoot, and I'm going to have to go and jump in to our admins and see if we can't get a little candid info onto what's going on with these guys. All right, we are live in the admins chat. Boys, there's some drama out on the track. What's going on?
Well, it looks like just your typical slowing down under caution here. The driver of the 77 woed it down and kind of locked him up to prevent himself from rear-ending the 69 of Tyler Truex. And unfortunately, Bobby Grant didn't have a heads-up situation there. And kind of crunched the backside of him there under caution after they got into it to cause the caution there. So, unfortunately, they are exchanging some words, but after review, we realize this is kind of one of them racing deals. You can't really penalize either one, so that's kind of where we stand right now. But that was the end of stage 1, and we're getting ready to hammer down for the beginning of stage number 2.
Yeah, and as I looked following through pit stops, I saw Dakota Camper had to serve a speeding penalty, which was unfortunate because he had himself some strategy that he was certainly pulling to give himself a good spot on exit. The 87 of Patrick Langley, he pitted and was the first car off of pit road, and then it looks like he had to serve some type of EOL, perhaps?
Yeah, we're trying to figure that out ourselves. We're not too sure if he got a penalty there. iRacing will dictate where you need to line up there. So I do know he had some damage earlier on. There may be an issue there. Probably a penalty that put him back there. So
yeah, maybe he pitted when pits were closed. We'll say that was most likely what happened.
Green here.
Well, I will let you boys get to it. Thanks for the insight. It's just lonely old me up here, and I like hearing all the action.
Yes, sir.
Right. We'll get ready for our restart here. We know.
Green flag, green flag.
And the green flag is out, and you can already see how those old tires, no match on the restart. 69 in the way. They are 3 wide as they exit 2. Can they keep it clean? The 6 of Jake Waltman does a great job getting around the 69 on those old tires and has set himself on pace to catch the 97 with Roger Diebold in tow. This is your race for the lead. Roger Diebold sticks his nose out on the outside, side by side with the 6 of Jake Waltman. And he will clear him, and Tyler Truex uses the momentum to get back around the 6, and the 6 is continuing to fall back, and now Roger Diebold is going to put pressure on the 97. Now Roger still working him there. Try to follow the action. I mean, my gosh. They are side by side for the lead. Oh, you can hear the 97 had to get out of the throttle. Got loose being that low. And the 38 is going to use his momentum, and Roger Diebold, the points leader, will take the lead. It is nice to see that 38 Budweiser machine back up to the front, really for the first time since his win at Talladega. That's one of our marquee wins that's in our ThunderClap bumper commercial. And now he is starting to pull away with already almost a half a second lead on the field. We'll take that time to check in on our Kubius tackle cam with Chase Leahy, who is in a bit of a bird's nest right now, trying to get around that 69 of Tyler Truex, who is holding him up with those older tires.
The yellow flag is out.
And it looks like we are under caution at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We will figure out how and poor why. It's like an issue with Tony Burleson and our Kubius tackle machine. Will check on the fast replay here. He was racing with Ryan Johnson, who they both found themselves back in the pack. Look overhead. Oh, looks like, is that the 36th of Ryan Lutz who actually started the incident? Or was that, no, that was the 46 of Spencer Taylor. They tend to run the same paint scheme. It's kind of their MO. There it is. Okay. We'll go back a little bit and see exactly what happened here at full speed. He had the 6 of Jake Waldman. You can already see a little bit of damage there on the 46, certainly making that thing a piece of work to handle with. And looks like he actually gets clipped by the clap. That was enough to send the 46 into the wall. We'll check on it through the mirror of the 63. Clap don't play dirty, so I can't imagine that he had any ill intentions there. But we'll check in his cockpit and see exactly what he saw. They exited 3 and 4. He was able to use the draft to catch up to the 46. And it looks like the 46 had to bail out of the throttle so much compared to what Clap did because of the 6 bailing out of the throttle. And that was just one of those, you know, you brake check on the highway and it's usually the guy in the back or the middle that gets screwed over. We check back on our field. Looks like pit lane is not overtly busy. Clap has decided to remain on the track. The 36 has some damage that was unreported. Looks like that may have just been playing some bumper tag there. The 46 himself, he did have to use his fast repair. So he won't have that for the remainder of this event. Check up front as they start to line up. I don't want to go to these guys if they're getting ready to go green this next lap, but if we have an opportunity, I'd like to go in and talk to some of our drivers. It's like we will have another lap, so let's go ahead and check on the 46 of Spencer Taylor. Hey, Spencer Taylor, this is Bo up in the booth. Do you have me, sir?
I got it.
Hey, Spencer, this is Bo up in the booth. You got me, sir?
Yeah, you got me?
I got you, sir. Well, looks like unfortunately you found yourself in an issue there. I'm getting a little bit of feedback, guys. I'll come back to you in 1 sec. Sometimes a little difficult to communicate with these guys. Hey, Spencer, it's Bo up in the booth. You got me, sir?
Yeah, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. Well, we saw that issue there. It looks like a bit of an accordion effect, and unfortunately you had to use your fast repair. Was it a bit of an accordion effect on your end as the 6 backed out? What did you see?
Yeah, I mean, we were all just kind of riding there, saving tires, and I'm not sure what Justin Clapp was thinking there, if he was looking at his windshield or where he was looking, but seems that he just drove right through me, but, you know, I had a bunch of excuses about it.
Yeah, sometimes it be like that. I love the atmosphere. I love the heat. We already know you got yourself some wins. You haven't had to go through this adversity yet before. What's it going to take now that you've used that fast repair to get that 46 back in front where we know you can perform? I think we lost Spencer. I think he's talking to some of his crew. We'll drop him back over with his people. Yeah, it looks like he had himself a full race control. That's what you were hearing on his end. Full group of guys in there talking about their race. That's probably a lot of fun. Appreciate Spencer being able to talk with us. But we're going to get ready to go green here. Check back in with our leaders. Roger Diebold. Again, our points leader. And he's been doing a great job at showing why he's the points leader today. We got Chase Leahy right there. Let's go to the Kubias cam for this restart and see just what Chase Leahy sees. You can see him tapping on the wheel, kind of getting himself ready to go. There'll be a bit of a delay on the restart just because of his stream time.
Green, 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 green.
And green flag is out, and automatically we'll go back to the race feed. The 63 had to jump way out of line. Does not look under power. And up front, the 38 of Roger Diebold has been passed by the 97. Did not get the restart that he wanted. But he dives back under the 97. And he will not totally clear, but he is kind of clear. And now I say he's clear. Reclaims the lead from the 97, who will get hard in his draft area and try and get right back under him, which he will with a crossover move. This is your battle for the race lead. Roger Diebold still able to hold off Daniel Silvestri in that 97.
The yellow flag is out.
And yellow flag on the race course. Looks like David Hall may have found himself in the thick of it. We'll jump in and see. Whoa. Couple different incidents happening there. Looks like the 43 of Dakota Camper was also one of them. Dakota Camper, one of those guys that got great stage points. Let's see what happened here. Looks like he gets tapped. Yep, he got tapped by the 86 of Chris Terry, who said it was time to go. And then they all blipped out. And that couldn't have been exactly why our caution came out. Looks like it may have actually been an incident with the 87 yet again. Work with me here. Yep, I got nothing. So it looks like it was an incident here between Michael Grant, David Hall, and Robert Walton. Unfortunately, I'm unable to take a look at what exactly took place. There it is. 87 and 971, or 904. I believe that's an issue because the 904 of Michael Grant is blinking, so that's what makes it hard for me to actually be able to see what's happening. We'll follow live, and there are some of your trucks that are heavily damaged. You can see the 63, one of them. They are sitting on pit row for a while. Clap's been in there for almost a full minute. As a 57 of David Hall and Patrick Langley dip out. But you can fix a lot of damage at these bigger tracks. You can see that 63 is almost near perfect. Same goes for that 904. As long as he doesn't have engine damage, he should be ready to go in that 63. See if we can't dial up the 63 here. Hey, Clap, it's Bo up in the booth. You got me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well, I saw you fix a lot of damage there, sir. Smart play. You look like you almost got that thing dialed right back to perfect. What's your strategy with about halfway through this second stage?
I think just making it to the end is always the key with these races here, especially these 1.5 miles. So just kind of taking care of tires. Now that I know what she's going to do throughout the field, running up front, running mid to back of the pack here. So I'm going to kind of have play some strategy out. Unfortunately, spent on pit road, so I'm going to have to drop to the tail here. But it's kind of where I want to be anyway. I was already planning on EO Welling, so I'm going to just ride around the back and see what happens.
Well, that sounds like the same kind of strategy I would do, except it wouldn't be riding around the back. It would just be stuck back there. So you go ahead and get after it, sir. I'll send you back to the admins.
10-4. Thank you.
We'll check back in with our leaders up front. Roger Diebold. Starting to get him lined up this lap. We'll get the one to go, and they'll start lining up. I'd love to see Roger get himself a stage win. It's been a while since he's got that stage win. Before we go ahead and go green, we will jump to a quick moment for station identification. They are wrecking just like that. Oh, a humongous impact. Just like that, we have ourselves some drama on hand.
Things are heating up.
Jack forward for the lead.
I think Roger got it. I think Roger got the win.
Is in the air. He is going to the moon.
And that's the kind of racing you get in ThunderClap.
And just like that, that is my saying, just by the way. I like to say just like that. But Roger Diebold is going to take this field to green. We have just under 20 laps left in stage number 2, and the 38 will get the green.
Green, green, green.
Great restart as the 97 laid back, playing it safe. He's got the 34 of Chase Leahy right behind him, having himself a day. Up towards the front, the 97 is starting to take a look. Using the draft to see if he can't get inside of the 38, and he will. As they come to the line, the leader of the lap will be the 97 of Daniel Silvestri. They're still side by side, a little paint traded right there. And the 38 ducks behind him, already looking for the crossover, was not able to complete the crossover move though. A little tag right there as they both glide way up the track, a little playing dirty by the 97, taking away the 38's line. 38 all over the bumper of the 97. This is some great racing up at the front. The 38 out on the outside again. Trying to use the high line. Neither of these guys saving tire right now. And the caution is out and kills the battle. It's like the 9 of Josh Koner found himself in a real pickle with that real tree machine. Oh, the back of the field. Oh, you see a couple trucks actually started wrecking before that. Looks like the 11 of Brandon Cash, unfortunately. It is Spencer Taylor, Bobby Grant, and Chris Terry. Does the 86... Oh, the 14 of Bobby Grant came up, clipped the 86, and that was well enough. We'll take a look back in slow-mo. This is the 14... Oh, he touches the apron. That sends him up, which sends the 86 up and sends the 11 hard into the wall with the 86 of Chris Terry right there. And them Miami colors got Mountain Dew all over them. Hard break for the 11 of Brandon Cash. Well, he's not sore about it. Let's check in with him. Hey, Brandon, it's Bo up in the booth. You got me, sir.
Hey, Bo.
I'll let you focus on getting on pit road, and then once you're in, you can tell me what you think happened there.
Bro, I don't know. I was gonna open up the stream here to see what's going on. I was just having fun. I don't think I did anything wrong. I hope I didn't.
You didn't. I'll tell you what it looked like is the 14 of Bobby Grant unfortunately clipped the apron, and no fault of anybody's. I think the 86 was then contacted by the 14, which sent him up into you. It created a nice looking piece here for the broadcast, but unfortunately it has stirred up all that Mountain Dew that you got on that machine. Oh yeah, I'm all jacked up. I tell you what, I've been having a fun race here. I've had 0x this entire race. That was my first one. Now I got 4. So as far as racing clean, I'm doing great. I don't know. Kind of played with my strategy there. I didn't need that, but you know, we're in it. I was sitting like P14 or something there. Hey, that's better than I probably was going to do, sir. So good on you. Get back up there. I know you had to use your fast repair, but just think about it. Your car's about prettier than half these cars out here now. Yes, sir. All right, sir. I'll send you back to where you belong. Bye, Bo. Check back up front. 97 is our leader. See if we can't get a quick note from Roger Diebold in the 38. Yep, checked in with Roger. He's actually doing some race control and some team orders with Lake Norman Motorsports. That's his race team. He's got a couple guys in here now. They are talking through some strategy, so I will let them do their damn thing. And then we'll go ahead and talk to Roger later and see if he can't get around this 97. While we do that, we'll take a quick commercial break and be right back to the action shortly.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Now's the time to get your landscape lighting system tuned up for the summer months. You're going to have people over your house. You want to have your home, your back deck, your back patio, around your swimming pool, all your landscape lighting tuned up and ready. Give us a call here at the office, 410-721-2342. We'll be glad to get that scheduled for you.
And ladies and gentlemen, the green flag is out. The Thunder will roll, and the 97 gets a great jump on the restart. And Roger Debo is going to have to settle down and figure it out from there with the 971 on his outside. And Jake Waltman also back in the picture after not being here for the majority of this stage number 2 with just 10 laps to go. But we know he's our stage winner. He loves to get these stage wins. Can he get all the way up there from 4th to 1st? Right now, the 97 is still the class of the field. There's your distance. Roger Debo, knowing that he's going to miss next week's race, the Team JCR 300 at Texas Motor Speedway, he needs to get this stage win. In his mind, he knows that's what's ahead. He needs to he needs to maintain that points lead and give himself a buffer because he's going to be minus potentially 40 when we get to Indianapolis. Right now, Daniel Silvestri still the king of the crop. It's interesting, he's leading so many laps tonight, but he is not one of the fastest laps out here on the track. We'll check overhead and just see what kind of battles we're dealing with. The 6 and the 971, some newcomers. You know, the 6, he's just been stealing these stage points away from the full season guys. Cole Gadget-Doris racing for some key, very key stage points with Chase Leahy in the 34 right there. He's got Spencer Taylor on his outside. These are for those last stage points available, and Chase needs to get him some of those. With that, we'll go ahead and take a look at the Thundercam presented by TLC Incorporated and see what he sees. can see he relaxes those hands, just really working in there, trying to grip out any of the lactic acid built up in his hands and arms. It is a gaggle right here for this final stage point. Ryan Johnson in the 8. He's the one making the big moves now, as the Bludgeon Brothers, the 46 and the 36, now start working on these guys, see if they can work together in those matching schemes. I can't believe these guys don't have sponsorship. What the heck's going on? Can Ryan Johnson clear the 34? He is right there, but not fully there. He's got a whole lot of mess going on in front of him and to his right. Still, you can see the distance. They're so close, driving so clean. The 8 can't clear the 34s. The 36 gets way loose on entry. And now that, I believe that's the 69 of Tyler Truex trying to get in there and get some stage points. As the 8 does clear the 34. We got 3 laps to go in this. Wow, we can't pull away. I'm sorry. We're not pulling away. The 36 makes a diving move under the 46, touches the grass around the 34, and Chase Leahy is in danger of losing those stage points. Well, the 8 of Ryan Johnson, he's making another move as he now starts working on Cole Gadgetores. He is finding so much speed out of nowhere. Back up towards the front, we'll check in on it. The 6 has closed the gap and is working on the rear of the 97. They make contact. Contact between the 97 and the 6, as this will be the final lap in stage 1. Can the 6 get another run? There's your distance right there. He has the run. Stage number 2, winners side by side, the 97 of Daniel Silvestri. Great racing for stage number 2. And Roger Diebold getting good points, but not maximizing his buffer. We'll take a look at our top 10 for stage number 2. See, Ryan Zunk found his way back into the top 5 with Thomas Kohik behind. Nathan Maurer, one of our newcomers, was able to stay up front and steal some of these points from guys that really need them. I love seeing it. I love the underdog stealing the stuff away. Ryan Johnson worked his way into the 7th position with Ryan Letts, Cole Gadgetores, and Chase Leahy. Key note, Spencer Taylor, no stage points in stage number 2. Same goes for Tyler Truex, one of our front runners, no stage points. You can see a couple guys down here, Dakota Camper, Robert Walton, Bobby Grant, Matt Garrett. Some of these guys needed stage points now, and they did not get them. And sorry, we're fresh out. That's all we have to offer for the rest of this event. The Team JCR 200, no mas stage pointos. I don't speak French. Just kidding, it's Spanish. It's actually neither. Well, pit lane is open. We'll see all of our leaders dive in. And as they come down pit lane, we'll show you what kind of pit stops our leaders make. I'm going to assume a lot of 4-tire pit stops here. You can pull some crazy strategies if you like, but don't get too silly, because I think you'll be disappointed. Here is your look at pit lane. We'll see who gets the win off pit road. You can see the numbers clanging off. Roger Diebold is already out with his 13.8. He will not beat Daniel Silvestri out, but Zunk will come out in 3rd, and it's a gaggle from that point on. virtually everybody came down pit road and in real life. But yes, your winner off pit road will be the 97 machine of Daniel Silvestri. It's like the 32 of Matt Garrett decided to stay out there in that awesome Shark Week paint scheme. I'm a huge fan of Shark Week. Quick note, we should all protect the sharks. I know they're big and scary, but for real, protect them sharks out there. Get you some pure Vita necklaces and bracelets for your woman. They donate much of their earnings to protecting these oceans, and sharks are a big part of that. I'm a huge fan of sharks. I'm a huge fan of Shark Week. It's a great time. It's a great time to be alive every single summer. But also, just remember, as Mike Bagley, the Bagman, says, every single time you enter the ocean, you are the visiting team. So respect the ocean, and if you see a big fin coming your way, you're probably not watching Jaws, but you might be in the 5th installment, or 4th, or 5th, or 6th. I'm not exactly sure how many there's been. Anyway, this is the Team JCR 200. Team JCR is a talented group of drivers focused on competitive co-opetition and building a positive racing atmosphere. They share data and share speed to be one of the top-tier teams in the iRacing community. To join them, reach out directly on the ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational Facebook page or email one of their drivers, and we have plenty of those in the field here every week. Jordan Jurassic, who unfortunately is not in tonight's event. I'd love to bring him up and chat with him, but hey, it's all good. We got ourselves some serious competitors here. I am very surprised with this 97, and I am going to see if we can't bring in Roger Diebold here to chat with us about that stage. Hey, Roger Diebold, it's Bo up in the booth. You got me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Well, hot damn, I was pulling so hard for you to get them maximized stage 2 points. Unfortunately, you came away P3, but we saw that 38 back up front. How do you get back there, and what do you need to keep that fast 97 behind you?
Man, yeah, I was trying the best I could, but man, they're just fast. I think they saved a little more than I did. I think that's just the key tonight. Is just save all you can.
Now, you're going to have to keep doing that, especially now that we don't have the stages to worry about. You don't get that break. You're going to have to make these runs work. I don't want you to give any trade secrets away, but what's your tire situation looking like?
The first run, I used a little more right front than the second run there, but I think we had a little more cautions the second run. So I don't know. I'm gonna try to save the best I can here and just see where we end up, because I think everybody. I mean, unless you got some reserve tank or something, I think everybody's gonna have to pit for gas or tires. So I don't know. We'll see how this thing goes. I'll try to stay up front.
Well, we'll go ahead and follow along with you on this restart in the gyro cam. You get after it, sir. We look forward to seeing that 38 back up front.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
As the pace car will pull off, Baby Shark Matt Garrett will take them to the field.
Green.
And uses those old tires to actually get a very good jump on the restart. The 97 able to clear Roger Diebold, but Roger right up to the top. Matt Garrett already getting some serious pressure. Roger does not want to let that happen. He does not want to let the 97 get around the 32 while he's trying to... Or, I'm sorry. He doesn't want to let the 97 get around the 32 while the 38 would have him in front of him because those older tires. I'm starting to really question if this 32 even has older tires, because he is starting to pull away from these leaders, at least while they were side by side. And now the 38 of Roger Diebold has cleared the 97. He's using a high line that clearly has come in as the sun has gone away and the moon has come out to play. And now he works himself under the 32, and it's the 97 that has to worry about the 32 being the buffer. We know that Matt Garrett has speed, but his tires are older than these guys, and he's still hanging right in there with them. Dun-dun. Dun-dun, 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 dun. I'm sorry. I had to do it. And Roger Diebold will go ahead and pull away from this field. But don't look now. The 36 of Ryan Lutz, for the first time in a long time, is working on the bumper of the 97. You can see just how loose these trucks will get on entry and exit. Look at the 8 of Ryan Johnson. He has the 34 right next to him. Go ahead and jump into the Kubia's tackle cam and see what that looks like from Chase Leahy's point of view. It's Chase Leahy now side by side with the 97. And there you see in the delay how he did it. And he clears the 97. The 97 is dropping. Chase Leahy showing some dominance. Moved himself up into the top 5. Getting serious pressure by Thomas Kohick and the 4 behind him. And he's got Matt Garrett right there. These guys are driving like it's the end of a stage that doesn't exist. We have a good amount of laps. Ooh, you see Thomas Kohick get really loose on exit here. Here's a beautiful view from the back of that Sim for You Chase Leahy 34. As Brandon Cash would say, things are heating up. Back up front, you see Roger Diebold still leading, but Ryan Lutz is a-coming, and Chase Leahy, 3rd place for that 34. Boy, I would love to be a fly on the wall of that young man's machine. Go and look at the Thundercam presented by TLC Incorporated. It pays to be the in-car guy. Chase Leahy now working on the 36. But don't look now, Thomas Kohick in the 4. He's starting to work on the 34. Side by side, a little door panel action. And Thomas Kohick will clear the 34 truck. We see a little bit of that Rebel X-Wing fighter race suit that Chase Leahy's guys wear. There is some serious action out on the track. This is the best racing we've had all night, and the 36 of Ryan Lutz is working on our leader, Roger Diebold. He is on the inside of him as they come to the line. Roger secures that lap, but Ryan Lutz has the line right now. Can he clear Roger and take the lead? Is Roger doing what he was talking about earlier in saving his stuff? I don't know. That 36 just looks fast, and Thomas Kohick does as well. Someone we haven't seen up in the top 5 most of the day, but we know he had some serious speed in the practice sessions. This right here is some of the best racing we've seen all season long in ThunderClap here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We thank Team JCR for being a part of the Team JCR 200 and giving these drivers a reason to try and lead every single lap. Ryan Lutz clears for the lead, and off of his back bumper, you see the battle between Thomas Kohick and Roger Diebold. You hear how much he has to barrel out of the throttle, but he can get back in it so quick and just get the gap on Thomas Kohick and the 38 of Roger Diebold. He barrels out earlier than I'd say most of these drivers out here, but somehow he's able to pull away instantly. And Ryan Lutz continues to lead. Thomas Kohick gets into the bumper of him. Woof. I'm not sure that Thomas meant to do that. Like we were just covering, the 36 is letting out of the throttle a lot more than these guys on entry. And now the 97 will clear the 4 of Thomas Kohick, and the 8 starts working on the 38 of Roger Diebold. Can Ryan Johnson go ahead and clear the 38? Absolutely serious, intense action up front. I'd love to cover any of the other 25-plus drivers we have on the track. I can't pull away from these leaders. You have 5 trucks right here ready for action, and it's a beautiful thing. Ryan Johnson, we talked to him earlier. He knows that he has speed. We've seen it week after week. Can he turn some of these top 3, top 5 finishes into a W? He's always running these great Dale Earnhardt Jr. or Earnhardt Sr. throwback schemes. And now he starts working under Thomas Kohick in that fantasy Mountain Dew scheme. As these leaders are sitting here in a straight line, well, for the moment, we will take you through the field. I don't know if I'm going to have time. Anytime I say I'm going to take them through the field, they just prove me wrong. I'm not going to be able to take them through the field. Ryan Lutz is your leader. He started first. He's in second, but we haven't seen him up front all day, really, until this third and final stage, with just about 30 laps left. In second, you've got Daniel Silvestri. He's led most of this lap. He started first and is currently second. So interesting juxtaposition right there on these two front guys, as the 97, I think, is getting sick and tired of being sick and tired and wants to get around him. Ryan Johnson, well, he started third. He's currently third. You know, I really thought this would be a lot more of an interesting through the field. They're proving that they are the guys that should be up front as Ryan Johnson works his way to the inside of the 97 of Daniel Silvestri. Behind them, Thomas Kohick. There we have some parity. He started 10th. He's up to 4th, but we saw that fast speed in practice. How many times do I have to tell you? Roger Diebold. We know that he didn't qualify well, but damn it if he ain't right there ready to go. And we've got Spencer Taylor sitting there now in the 6th place. That's an interesting little nugget. Our winner from last week now working on Roger Diebold. I mean, how could you ever cut away from these guys? Ryan Johnson now going for the lead. Everybody's going for the lead. Is this Dega or Charlotte? I couldn't tell. Ryan Johnson will take the lead momentarily as he gets under the 36, clears him, and the 97 gives him a hello push. Just absolutely white knuckle driving out of this top 6. There they are. Every single one of them wanting to lead this next lap. You can't underestimate how much fun this is for all these guys and how real this is. And I'm so glad I'm not out there on the track to ruin any of it with my half a second slower butt. Now, Ryan Johnson, we talked to him earlier. He is pulling away in that 8 machine. I wonder if the 97 of Daniel Silvestri didn't use too much too early. Doesn't matter because nothing makes sense anymore because now Spencer Taylor has passed Ryan Lutz and he's working on the 38. And remember, this guy was in a humongous crash just about 30 or so laps ago. Yet here he is working his way under the 38. Or he's not working his way under the 38 as Roger battles back on the outside. And the 36 and the 4 are side by side. And I'm sorry, with all this side by side action, I apologize. Did I not cover the fact that Jake Waltman has captured this entire field of guys? And now we have a 7-car group of top fielders. And don't look now, the more side by side they do, the more guys they reel in. Dakota Camper in that 43. He has a perfect view of all of your top cars. He's used the draft to catch up to them as we approach just over 20 laps to go in this event. Back up front, Ryan Johnson continues to lead as for the first time in, I don't know, a lot of laps. We are starting to have a breakaway from the leaders. You see the flash bulbs fly as they love seeing that 8 Oreo machine up front. But the 97 says, I don't like seeing that so much. He will never eat another Oreo cookie again as long as he's looked at the rear bumper as this thing, knowing how quick he is and knowing that this 8 is doing some Mr. Kevin Harvick, where did he come from type of stuff. But they have broken away from this second group. The 46 of Spencer Taylor leading them all. And Jake Waltman, he's going ahead and inserting himself past all of these guys. He was able to use the draft to catch up to this group. And now showing the speed that he has to get around all of them. I mean, a couple of laps ago, Jake Waltman was 4 seconds back on these guys, but the side-by-side racing they were having to do and him having clean track was able to get him tracked up to these guys, and now here he is, passing most of them. Back up to the front. It's getting closer. This is where them tire-saving times count. Ryan Johnson, still your leader, but the 97 not letting him enjoy the splendors. We'll take a look at our Thundercam presented by TLC Incorporated. The 34 of Chase Leahy sitting in 11th position. You can see most of the field has stretched out to this single file run now. I think everybody was realizing how much tire they were using, except, sorry, not these guys. The 38 And the 43 of Dakota, the 38 of Roger Diebold and 43 of Dakota Camper almost make contact right there. We'll pull out of our Thundercam, powered by TLC Incorporated and TLC Garage Works, and check in on these two who are side by side as we head to the line. You can see how much the 38 had to get out of the throttle. He may have just been given the spot to the 43 because he knows that these guys are using up their stuff, and maybe Roger is saving right now, praying for a late caution that will allow him to get back up to the front. He knows that he has to maximize points the best he can because Texas ain't him next week. He will not be tricked out in Dallas. I think that's what they say in the Snapchat. Is that what you guys say in the Snapchat, Roger? Something about slicked out in Dallas? I don't know. Anyway, checking back up on our leaders, Ryan Johnson. Been able to get a little bit of a gap on the 97. The 97 saving. I don't know. He might be. Maybe this is the 97's way of saving some tire, thinking we're going to go green from this point on. And the 8 is still doing everything he can to pull away from me because objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. And he's using up his tires for that fact. Thinking maybe if I save a little bit, I'll be able to get around him here shortly. The field has lined up. Everybody's feeling the adverse effects of this nice, long green flag run. And again, we appreciate Team JCR for sponsoring this awesome, awesome event. This has been what we've been waiting for once we got out of these short tracks to see some beautiful, clean racing at these 1.5 miles. This is where our ThunderClap drivers shine, and it has been an exciting event through and through. We'll take you through the field. Ryan Johnson sitting at the top of the board right now with Daniel Silvestri following him. Spencer Taylor, last week's winner, trying to see what he can't do. He started all the way back in 24th, up to 3rd, though, with one of the slower laps, showing that long-term speed matters. Jake Waltman, another one of those guys, started 26th, sitting in 4th. These are long-run guys. They know what they're doing out here on this track. They're not worried about them stage points. They're trying to get up there to the win. Behind him, wrapping out our top 5, Thomas Kohick in the 4. Love the paint scheme. Don't love his results right now. He started 10th. He showed so much speed in practice. I say it again. But he has not led the laps that I thought he would. Dakota Camper, a wonderful surprise, seeing that 43. I'm really confused. Is it a Richard Petty car? Is it a Dale Earnhardt? I don't know. First of all, that's like a Mike Skinner truck, but we won't even get into it. But he is sitting himself in the 6th position with Ryan Lutz behind him and Roger Diebold. He is not doing well in this run. He is now just starting to work under Ryan Lutz, not able to get inside. But this top 8, they're within reach of something if these leaders start getting crazy. But all the way back a whole turn and straightaway away, Tony Burleson and Cole Gatchdor's racing for the end of that top 10. That Kubia's Tackle Machine and City Chevrolet Machine been going at it for a couple laps now. And right behind them, he was all the way up to 3rd to start this stage, Chase Leahy. All the way back in 11th now. Ryan Zunk, another one of those guys who showed speed early, not feeling the best effects now. He was involved in a couple incidents. Michael Grant in the 904, we saw him get involved in some incidents as well. He's sitting in the middle of the pack. Robert Walton in the 66, a similar story. David Burns, haven't talked about him all day long in that in-and-out truck, one of our clean guys. He is sitting in the 15th position, just has not been able to get up front all day long. Josh Koner in the 9. He's having himself a good run, He's had some issues throughout the series so far, but now sitting in a decent position considering the runs that he's had of late. Opposite end of that spectrum, Tyler Truex, hurting still late in this race, all the way back in the 17th position. Tommy Allen Jr., similar story, has not been able to get back up towards the front of late. And Justin Clapper. I gave him my driver's seat. I expected more out of this man, and he has not performed it. I should have stayed in that damn car. Look at that. Look, his lap time's about as good as mine was. The bastard. Getting passed by Brandon. All right, it's over. He's getting passed by Brandon Cash right now. Where'd they even go? My telemetry got all messed up. Getting passed by Brandon Cash. That should be a song. They are side by side, and Cash clears them. I can't believe I gave this. I should have raced it. We'll head back up to the front of our leaders. That is your top 20, presented by TLC Incorporated. And not much has changed up front, except the caution is out with just under 10 to go. Way to yuck it up, everybody. Holy smokes. Let's go check and see what the hell happened there. It's like an incident points for Dakota Camper. There, we're following along here. You can actually see the 6 of Jake Waltman, and Spencer Taylor got into it first. They were side by side for the 3rd spot. And looks like they took forever to wreck. They were side by side basically the entire time we went through the field, I guess. And here is where I think it all went to pot. Oh, the 46 turns down on the 6. Just misjudged if he was clear, which, in the noble words of Chase Elliott, you're not clear. Let's see here. Off the gyro cam, yeah. Unfortunately, not clear. We'll rejoin live and see how this shakes up on pit road. Looks like just about everybody in the lead pack followed Ryan Johnson down pit road. That is certainly going to make things interesting. But who had tires left? Who needed fuel? If guys were going to run out of fuel, remember Roger said that nobody was to the good. This may have saved a lot of guys that were getting ready to have to pit. You see Ryan Johnson just a splash and get the gone. But the 97 still made it out second with Spencer Taylor behind him. And it was on from there. Here's your top 10 off of pit road. We'll go rejoin our leaders live. See if we can't dial up Ryan Johnson in that 8 machine. Ryan Johnson, it's Bo up in the broadcast booth. You got me, sir. Hey, Ryan, it's Bo up in the broadcast booth. Do you got me, sir? I don't hear you. It's like some type of audio issue not letting us get to Ryan here. We'll send him back. I think you're going to win, just so you know, Ryan. You've got that. This is all you, my friend. Yeah, it looks like Ryan was trying to talk to us, but unfortunately we could not hear him on his end. We'll see if we can't dial up our admins here.
Should be, well, no, he was a lap down, I believe.
Oh.
Hey, admins. It's Bo up in the broadcast booth. You here, boys?
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be a lot of fun. I just want to say great race all around. This has been so exciting for all of our viewers. Roger, get your ass on back up there.
Sir, I'm trying, man. There's a lot going on in the seat here.
It's a lot of fun to watch. Really enjoying it. This will be one of the best restarts we've had all season. Can't wait. Get after it, boys, and good luck.
Yes, sir.
Also, Justin, I'm going to need you to pick that lap time up.
Yeah, working on that.
Thank you. Little playful banter there from the 63. Clearly not having the kind of day that he wanted. I can promise him that it was a lot better than my day was going to be. Take a look at our top 5 here. Pacer is going to get ready to pull off. And Ryan Johnson. It's a shame we couldn't hear what he was thinking. But I'm excited to see what he can do on this restart. This is the Team JCR 200 and the TLC Incorporated 5 to go. Pace car pulls off. Thunder will roll.
Green flag, green flag.
The green is out and Ryan Johnson. Great restart. Clears the 97. But the 97 gets right back under him. They're going to be side by side entering turn number 1 with 4 laps to go. Oh, and you can see there's trouble back in the pack, but back up with our leaders. Oh, it looks like the 904 made major contact into the wall. We stay green for now, and the 8 gets hit by the 36 of Ryan Lutz. Can he save it?
Yellow flag is out.
No, he can't. Oh, and major contact with the 14 of Bobby Grant. The 8 day is destroyed. Heartbreak for the 8 of Ryan Johnson. We'll go back and see exactly what happened here. You can see the 88 of Tommy Allen Jr. He got turned. The 904 making major contact, and then the 36 makes a move to a place that just wasn't there. Jake Waltman gets a little bit piece of it. Ryan Zunk gets some of it. And unfortunately, Bobby Grant doing all he can to get through it. And the 8 is tilted like a pinball machine. That's going to most likely end his chances at a win today in the ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational for the 8 of Ryan Johnson. You just hate to see it. One of our top competitors tonight, unfortunately, taken out by the 36 of Ryan Lutz, who was trying to stick it in there. And unfortunately, it did not work. I'd love to check in with those guys, but I know they're in their own command center, and unfortunately, that's a little loud for us and our broadcasters, and I don't want to accidentally get any cuss words across the radio. We will try again to chat with Ryan Johnson and see if we can't get some audio from the mans. Hey, Ryan Johnson, it's Bo up in the booth. Do you have me now, sir?
Yeah, I got you. I got my mic fixed after that fiasco there.
Well, gosh, my heart's broken. I really wanted to see that Oreo machine in victory lane. Looks like Ryan Lutz stuck her where the sun wasn't shining, and unfortunately cost yourself a chance at victory tonight. But we sure enjoyed watching that 8 up front. How fun was it to be leading that group?
Felt like where we were supposed to be. These past 3 races, we ran really good. Had some unfortunate stuff happen. We should have won the first one we won at or that we raced at 5 Flags, but got dumped. Got dumped again tonight. We could have had another. I mean, very least top 3, but people don't know how to drive.
Well, I like the raw emotion. We're a big fan of that. And I know you've got a 36 painted on your wall when we get to Texas Motor Speedway next week, don't you?
That whole team.
The whole team. I like it. Well, sir, we are sorry to see you go, but I can't wait to see that 8 back at Texas.
We'll see. Thank you.
And Dakota, you're doing a hell of a job too, sir. Love seeing that 43/ Dale Earnhardt. I don't even know. You're giving me a seizure.
Yeah, it's glad to be up here finally at the end.
You got yourself in a good position. Maybe avenge some issues there. I'm not telling you what to do. Don't do anything. I said I'm just a broadcast guy.
I think you're giving me the green light.
That's not what I said. It's not what I said. It's not what I said at all. I'm just a broadcast guy. Don't pay. My words mean nothing. But go ahead and have yourself a racer. Lights are going to come off the pace car this time around. I want to see that 43 up there in the shuffle.
We'll do our best.
All right, y'all. Have a good night. See, I didn't tell him to do nothing. I just thought, what fun it would be if something did occur. Hate to see it out of Ryan Johnson. Poor guy. You could tell emotions and tempers high there. Unfortunate end to his night. But the 38 of Roger Diebold, he's right there with 3 laps to go. Could he play spoiler to all of this? I'd love to be able to dial up the 97. He's unfortunately not in the ThunderClap race communications yet. We will get him eventually. This is his first event in the ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational, and he has been one of the top cars all night long. Checking on our race summary with 3 to go. Our leader, as I said, Daniel Silvestri. We've completed 134 with 3 laps remaining. There's been 19 lead changes. A great amount of guys have led a lot of laps here with only 9 cautions for 27 laps. We've got beautiful weather presented by RL Productions. And as I said, only 9 cautions. It's a beautiful thing with the fastest lap of a 35:10. And that was done by none other than Ryan Johnson, the unfortunate man that has been now taken out of this event. But as we get to what will soon, it could be a green-white checker finish with Ryan Lutz right there ready to pounce. The 97 will take him to the green, and the Thunder will roll in the Team JCR 200.
Green, green, green.
Spun the tires, the 97 did, and they are all jacked up. The whole field jacks up behind the 97 after he spun his tires, and that gives clear room for the 36, and they're wrecking in the back of the pack. Trucks everywhere, but they keep it straight, and Ryan Lutz pulls away from the field. But the 97 starts storming back after a terrible restart. Could that be what kills his evening? Jake Waldman back there doing what he can to get into this position to win. Spencer Taylor is a punching bag right now as 38 of Roger Diebold clears him and Dakota Camper starts trying to make some moves. Oh, and you see I think that was the 55 of David Burns got spun, but we stayed green. This is the final lap. And the 36 will take the victory. Ryan Lutz wins, and they wreck in the back of the pack. What an intense finish. So many trucks all over the place. Frustrations abound. But the 36 of Ryan Lutz, your race winner. Last week, suspended for actions detrimental to the ThunderClap Stock Car Series by intentionally wrecking under caution. Paid his fine, came right back into it, and the Bludgeon Brothers meet on the front stretch. .36 giving himself a good burnout in that red, white, and blue race suit. Heartbreak for the 97 of Daniel Silvestri turns into jubilation for the 36 of Ryan Lutz. What an exciting finish. My head hurts. Good Lord. What a great race for all of these drivers. I know there's some hurt feelings, as there usually is at the end of a ThunderClap event. But the 36 of Ryan Lutz comes away your winner in the Team JCR 200. I think he blew his engine up, so it's going to be hard for him to make it all the way to victory lane, but we will get him in the booth nevertheless.
Well, Bo, what a race that was.
Sir, that was an intense finish. Heartbreak for Daniel Silvestri on that restart. Turns into love-making for the 36 of Ryan Lutz after a controversial bump and run with the 8 of Ryan Johnson. All types of feelings out here in this race world right now. What was it like from your perspective?
Oh, man, definitely a tough racetrack as you get longer. It was everything that I said it was going to be. Tire management was definitely key there. It was just one of the, I mean, very unfortunate for myself there, sitting in the top 10 for the green-white checker, hoping for a solid finish. But big issue with some brake checking there on that inside line that just bottlenecked and, you know, got sandwiched and unfortunately got involved in that one, was able to save it and bring it home in one piece somewhat anyway. But Ryan Lutz, man, let's give it to him. A gentleman wrapped up in some drama last week, manages to come back in a very big way and take the checkered flag and collect his first win in the ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational. And I believe we have Ryan in this booth. Ryan, do you have a copy? Ryan, my man, it's been a while since I've seen you in person, but damn, it's good to have you here in the ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational. Take us through what it was like, man, not only to deal with that suspension, but to be able to come back the next week after paying that fine and showing everybody what you really are made of and taking the checkered flag.
Yeah, last week was just a rough week. You know, we had a good car and just had bad things happen to us and let emotions get the best of us. But tonight we had a clean slate, I thought, and we had some speed in the beginning. And I totally forgot about the stage break caution there. And when I came to pit road and I was about the only guy in the top 15 that came, I kind of realized that there was a caution coming in 10 laps. Why am I on pit road? So I just put fuel in it and saved the tires to the end and slowly just worked the way up to the field. And, you know, we burned up a little bit too much when we got to the lead there, that last restart. But that caution definitely saved us and just right place, right time there at the end.
Without a doubt, man. Well, that last green-white checker, definitely exciting for the viewers, and I know for us drivers out there. Did you have any doubt, or what was your mind like as you took that green for the final time for the green-white checker attempt?
Yeah, I knew just to get a good launch. It seemed to be the pace was really slow to the restart box, so first gear was definitely crucial, and you couldn't spin them, and it was really easy to spin them in first gear. And I finally nailed it that last one, and I think the 97 spun him a little bit, and that was really the difference there. And we just set sail there at the end and got the job done.
Now, Ryan, before I let you go, I talked to the 8 of Ryan Johnson, and he's a little peeved about the contact there late I don't think there was any intentions, but what was going through your mind when you tried to get under that 8 truck? Because I think he's a little pissed off.
Yeah, that's just racing. But I had a big run on the top, and I went and tried to go 3 wide there, and I didn't realize he checked up pretty quick before even I was off the throttle. But I don't know how it slowed down so quick, but he definitely slowed down pretty quick, and I didn't mean to get into him. I've really never raced with him, so I have a lot of respect for everyone out here. So it was just one of those racing deals, and just I'm sure he's a little upset about it. I would be too. I mean, it's unfortunate that stuff like that happens at the end of these races, but sometimes that's the way it goes, and I'm sure I'll have my day.
Sometimes it be like that. Well, congratulations on the win, my friend. Justin, I believe we have our 2nd place finisher, Daniel Silvestri.
I believe we do. Daniel's in here. Daniel, you have a copy?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. How's it going?
Well, first off, welcome to the ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational. Very impressive first race with us. Definitely a roller coaster of a night out there for many drivers, but you were able to come out on top of most with a podium finish. Take us through your night and what it was like out there in your first event here in the ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational.
Well, I mean, we knew tire wear was going to be a factor, and first few, I took the first few stages to figure out what pace I needed to run, and I know the first stage I burned my stuff up too quickly. Jake was able to take the stage win on the last lap. I played it a little bit better on the second one and got the stage win, and really felt like we were in position to win it on the last stage before that caution came out. And just made a mistake. I really wanted to. I've been doing it the entire time, is keeping the pace car speed at 55, which is a first gear restart, and I just made a mistake and spun the tires, which is really disappointing. I just really felt confident that we were in position to win before that caution came out. I did a good job saving fuel because fuel was close, and I think I did a better job saving my tires. I was just biding my time. I was gonna get them there in the last 5 laps, but with that draft, I was really trying to get a good restart, so I didn't have them, draft them behind me, and I'd have to do some crazy blocking, but just made a mistake, and, happy to come home second. I think we were one of the better trucks here the entire night, and, we'll be back.
Well, we'll be glad to have you back. And you were speaking of fuel mileage there. That's something that I was wondering out there as a driver, but I'm sure the viewers as well. Just how close was it on fuel to make it to the end before that green, white checker caution came out there at the end of the race? I know some guys did come down pit road. Other guys were on save mode there coming to the end. What about you? Were you in good shape there, or was there some concern on whether you could make it on fuel?
I noticed decently early, and I was about 2.5 laps to the good before that caution came out. I was just using the draft to lift a little bit down the straightaway, and I was certain that the 8 car would probably be close to being out, having to run up out front and not being able to lift at all as much as I was being able to. So I really felt like it was going to come to my hands, and it just, unfortunately didn't go green to the end.
And I'm sorry, Daniel. First of all, welcome from myself. It was so fun to cover that 97 up front all day long in that beautiful paint scheme. It looked like you had a little bit of tire spin on that restart. What could you have done differently on that last restart to get the W?
I should have just done something different. Probably should have just, the restarts were, it was something different that I was trying to get used to. And what happened was, I had it in first gear, and when the iRacing green came out, I just slammed the throttle way too hard instead of picking it up nice and easy. I should have just picked up the pace a little bit in second gear and had a good clean start and try to, not throw myself out of the lead that way. But, we'll learn from it. We'll be back and we'll do better next time.
Well, damn, I tried to get him in a what do you think happened, genius, kind of Tony Stewart answer, and he answered all analytical. Great race,
That's
my
kind of
friend.
how I am, man.
Hey, great race,
Thanks
my
for
friend.
having me.
Yeah, we look forward to having you back next week. And it looks like, Clap, we have our 3rd place finisher, the 6 of Jake Waltman. What you got for him?
Well, Jake, I can tell you one thing, my man. The nose of your truck was all over the back bumper of mine on many occasions. You had one heck of a hot rod out there. Take us through your night and another podium finish for you, but just short of 2 positions of taking that win. But, Jake, What a hot rod you had out there, man. Had to be fun for you. Take us through to your night.
Yeah, it was definitely a roller coaster of a night. I know since complications in real life, I had to start on pit road, and I didn't know how that was going to affect throughout the race. I thought maybe they'd go a lap down because of the draft and catch me, but luckily the caution came out. I think we were like 3 or 4 laps into it, and then I knew tire saving, was just the biggest thing. That I mean, if you could save your tires, especially the right front tire, I mean, you had a car to win if you could save. And I knew in the first stage, if I let everyone race and do their thing and save my right front, I'd be able to run up through the field. And luckily, we were able to do that. So it was good that we got the first stage. Second stage, I got a little more aggressive. Missed my pit stall there. Just getting in the heat of the moment. Missed my pit box. Just decided to fix some damage. But other than that, I mean, it was a solid night. I mean, just little mistakes here and there cost me. I had contact with Spencer, and I mean that's just a racing deal. Not too mad about it. Kind of happy because I needed a caution to come in and get tires anyways. Because in the final stage we didn't save very much, but no, it was fun. Definitely a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I'm not too good at these 1.5 miles. Savings one of the not too good at it, but luckily we were able to get it done, get a stage win, and I mean bringing home P3 podium finish. Not too bad.
Not too bad at all. So we'll very, very excited to have you a part of this league. You definitely make things entertaining, especially when you come from the back like you did on a couple occasions there. Well, I know behind the wheel of my Chevrolet, watching you dig through the field was pretty wild, my man. Some of the moves you made were very, very impressive in your Toyota Tundra. So keep that work up, and we hope to have you continue the season out with us as we head to Texas next week in the Xfinity cars. Us Tuesday night run. I know a few drivers are going to have some conflict with that due to the summer shootout, but we're hoping we can get as many as we can due to some circumstances with our admins with pre-organized plans that are going to cause that schedule change. But we will be back next week, Tuesday night. Tuesday Night Thunder returns for one time only this season next week at Texas Motor Speedway with the Xfinity cars. Well, Bo, we got our top 3 drivers in here. Are there any final words that you have for them?
My final words are congratulations to the 3 of you, because we have ran ourselves about 2/3 of our season here, and it is so nice. That's why this is the initial invitational season. It is so nice to see new guys come in here and show us what for. You guys are putting down a show, putting down some serious laps, and getting yourself some W's. And I think you're making a lot of our guys that felt like they were safe in the points shaking their boots. So love seeing it. It's going to make things even more exciting when we get back in the Xfinity cars next week for the Team JCR 300 on Thursday night. Or I'm sorry. I'm so used to Thursday Night Thunder, but no, it's Tuesday Night Thunder. You know what I mean.
That is true, Bo. Well, we're kind of on the original start date here with a Tuesday night.
Yeah, great. I got to get the trash out before we race.
I know, right? I'm right there with you. But, well, Bo, I don't know how it looked out there to you in the booth, but I tell you, as a driver out here, I'm wore out, my man. My arms are tired. My back hurts a little bit. I feel like I just went out and ran a mile. So I'm going to go ahead and probably crack me a cold one and call it a night. But, Bo, go ahead and take them away, my man, because I hope all of the members of Team JCR were as impressed with the racing tonight as I was. And congratulations again to Ryan Lutz on taking the dollar bills here tonight, and also to our stage winners.
Absolutely. As you said, I think this was a good trade. I would have loved to be in that car, but I think our 9 cautions would have turned into 19 if I was. My arms feel fine. I've already cracked me a couple cold ones, so I'm happy with the way tonight worked out. Thank you to everyone for tuning in to the Team JCR 200. Congratulations to Ryan Lutz in the 36 on his W. Team JCR, can't wait to have you back next week. You're a wonderful sponsor of ours. Thank you, everybody. Good night. We will see you for Tuesday Night Thunder. This is the ThunderClap Stock Car Invitational. For all my in-race reporters, for Justin Clapper, our lead commissioner, and for all of our talented drivers, good night, and let the thunder roll. They are wrecking just like that. Oh, a humongous impact.
Just like that, we have ourselves some drama on hand.
Things are heating up.
Back forward for the lead.
I think Roger got it. I think Roger got the win.
Is in the air. He is Dogecoin to the moon.
And that's the kind of racing you get in ThunderClap.